Two men police think are behind two shootings at two separate scenes early yesterday morning are now in the same place.
They are both locked up. APD responded to the Cottages apartments, home to more than 700 college students, around 4 Sunday morning after calls about someone shooting a gun. When officers arrived, the suspects were gone. Then a second call came in of there being shots fired after a road rage incident nearby. Officers say the victim's car was riddled with bullets. The victims told police two men in a dark-colored Jaguar crashed into them, got out, and started shooting at the car.
We did find multiple casings at the scene of the cottages and of the car that was shot at a little bit away from the cottages.
Police say the black Jaguar was spotted in the foothills. The two men were arrested. Police say they are 28-year-old Tyvon Green, that was the driver, and then 22-year-old Shanoa Colley was the passenger. Police say Colley fired a gun to scare people.
Well, for the first time this morning, we're hearing from the family of two UNM soccer players who were hazed. One of those players went to the hospital after she got so drunk she was having a hard time breathing. Her twin sister called 911. They were among the 5 freshmen who athletic director Paul Krebs says were hazed. This all happened at an off-campus party last Sunday when Krebs says older players hazed the freshman teammates by pressuring them to drink until some of them got sick. They were also told to strip down to their underwear and sprayed with water. UNM is punishing a lot of the team and suspending head coach Kit Bella for a week without pay. Now, according to a website based out of Orange County, California, where the twins are originally from, their family sent in this statement. Part of it says, no person should be subjected to this type of abuse, humiliation, and degradation that our daughters were forced to endure as they embarked on what should have been a momentous time in their lives. Liz?
Some other news this morning. Current city councilor and former Albuquerque Public School executive Brad Winter has a new job this morning. He is the new interim superintendent for APS. Winter, who was the COO for APS, retired a few months ago after more than 20 years with the district. He's temporarily taking over for Brooks, who has resigned as superintendent. He did so recently. Winston Brooks stepped down after the APS board president hired an attorney to investigate him for, quote, a serious personnel issue. News 13 has learned that investigation centered on Brooks's wife, but the board has refused to release any information. Winter says his goal right now is to stabilize the district.
We're all in this together. We want to build Albuquerque Public School to be a very, very strong district. It's important to everybody. It's important to the business community. It's important to parents. It's important to our children. And so I kind of see that as my job to let's start moving in that direction where everybody pulls together.
Winter will serve as interim until the board names a permanent superintendent. Winter says he does not want the permanent job. Federal agents raid the home of a former charter school superintendent, Scott Glassrud. Agents were inside his Northeast Heights home for several hours on Friday, but they won't say what they were looking for. A few weeks ago, agents also raided Glassrud's schools. He was the former head administrator of Sam's Academy and Southwest Learning Center. He resigned in the wake of an investigation. Now, sources tell News 13 that the feds are looking into fraud and embezzlement allegations involving state and federal dollars. A controversial rule requiring nurses and healthcare assistants for all school field trips across New Mexico has been voted down. The state nursing board was considering the rule dealing with how prescription and over-the-counter meds are administered to students. If a nurse wasn't able to travel on field trips, the students could not go. APS has canceled all field trips for the month of August until the board made a decision. Well, that decision's now made and those field trips can now start up again.
Funeral services for a Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputy are set to start in just a few hours, and part of a road in Rio Rancho, or a couple of roads, are going to be closed for the procession. Police will be diverting traffic this morning for the funeral of Deputy Shannon Key. Key had been in law enforcement for more than 15 years and sadly lost his battle with brain cancer last week. Golf course road between Southern and Westside Boulevard in Rio Rancho will be closed at about 9 this morning, then again at 11:30. Part of 528 will be closed as well. A Los Alamos National Laboratory could increase production of triggers for nuclear weapons to levels not seen since the Cold War. That's if the federal defense and energy leaders get their way. According to the Santa Fe New Mexican, this is all on a mission to increase the production of plutonium pits. The plan says the new pits would not be used for new weapons, but to replace aging pits in a nation's nuclear stockpile. One nuclear watchdog group told the New Mexican the mission carries the risk of destroying the trust of other countries. The U.S. Department of Defense and the National Security Safety Administration want to replace aging triggers to make sure the weapons will work if they are ever needed. And a spokesperson with U.S. Senator Tom Udall's office tells News 13 he supports the idea to ensure the safety of the U.S. stockpile. A group of scientists have all signed a letter to the U.S. Energy Secretary asking him to intervene on behalf of a political scientist from Santa Fe. The New Mexican is reporting that James Doyle claims he was fired from Los Alamos National Lab for his anti-nuclear views. Doyle is appealing his whistleblower complaint that was dismissed. In the letter to the Energy Secretary, Ernest Moniz, the Federation of American Scientists urges the Secretary to intervene for Doyle. The letter condemns what Doyle says the lab did to him. LANL is not talking about the issue.